Perfect. Hey, Christy here with another episode of Dog Training at the Kitchen Table, and I wanted to have a conversation about fur babies or fur kids. So there's just been a horrendous number of stories on Facebook about people being killed by their dogs or eaten by their dogs or kids being killed or mauled by dogs. It's just, I don't know if someone's just sharing it too much or if it's just like this real horrendous thing that's happening, and it's happening more and more and more and more. So I wanted to address this because I consider myself a dog mom. I know it might be backwards for you guys. I am a mother to dogs. But while my dogs are my kids are dogs. And I'm under no delusion that they're animals, that they're the ancestor of the wolf, you know. I'm under no delusions about what that means. But I understand why this is really upsetting people calling their dogs fur kids or fur babies. I understand why. Every week I get phone calls, emails, I see the posts on Facebook where someone has a sob story about their dog. And they go into great detail and great length about how this dog is a family member. They love this dog. This dog is their child. But he has to go. What? You just called him family. You just called him your child. That you loved him. Do you know what love means? But now he has to go? I get emails of people asking me to help rehome their dogs. Anyone who cares to watch, I'm going to say, I've said it once before, but it was like a year or so ago. I am not a rescue. I am not in the business of helping you find somewhere else for your dog to go. I'm in the business of helping you keep your pet in your home. All right? Or they want some justification, some validation for the euthanization of their pet. And I don't condone this. There are circumstances. I'm not under delusions there either. There are circumstances, sure. But those circumstances could easily have been avoided with proper training when the animal was younger or when the animal first came into your home. I don't care if you adopted an adult dog. Training starts the day you bring them home. And many people will want to go through an adjustment phase. They want the dog to feel loved, and they want the dog to get used to them. And so they don't begin setting up real rules for that animal until they first get into the trash, or they begin to bark excessively at guests that come into the door. And now, oh my God, this rescue dog we have has all these issues. You should have started training him 3 weeks ago when you first brought him into your house. So I get these conversations a lot from people who are calling their dogs their kids, but they're not actually living up to that. They're not living up to a parent status. They're more like roommates. The dog is a lawn ornament or a couch ornament. They're not really living up to what it means to be a parent, a parent of any kind. Okay. So when we have human children, we want to give them an education, and we want to give them an education beyond read, write, add, and subtract. We want them to get further in life than just that. And for our dogs, it's very much the same way. The equivalent of read, write, add, and subtract to dogs would be loose leash walking. Just don't pull. We're going to get into that. Coming when called, but only in reference to the backyard. They want a basic sitting down with maybe a stay, right? And that's about it. And that's about it. That's all they ever think they need their dog. And if we had human children, we would want them to grow beyond that. And so for dogs, that is their read, write, add, subtract, don't pull, come when called from the backyard, sitting down. Whew, that's it. What a lousy life if that's all you learn to do. You know, if you never got past any elementary education, you'd have a really hard time functioning in the world. If we think about human children, so not only do we want to provide them with the best education, but we want them to socialize. We want them to have manners. We want them to learn to do things opposite us. Like, I don't need to hold your hand when we cross the street for the rest of your life, so on and so forth. When we have human children, we encourage them to have extracurricular activities and have hobbies and and even like grow beyond the academics, right? It's not just about math, it's not just about science, but what about chess club or basketball or football or anything like that? That there's more to life than just academics. There's other things that you can be involved in and should be involved in. Adult humans with children don't mind toting their kids around. We have to tote them around to different soccer games or whatever events are taking place, right? So when we think about what it means to be a human parent, and then you put that parent title to a dog, if you're not doing the same things, then you are no parent. And so don't call yourself that. As a dog mom, I provide my dogs with an excellent education. They have household manners, so they know how to greet guests appropriately. And at the very least, they know how to go to their own bed. Go to your climb while guests come in the door, right? So they have household manners. They have manners when in public. So my Doberman can go to the bank. I can take any of my dogs to the bank, but everyone at the bank loves my Doberman. And I get all the time, oh, I could never take my dog out here or take my dog in here, whatever. Why? Did you think she was born this way? She didn't come to me pre-programmed to walk into the bank. It took some time to teach her. Sorry, someone's hitting the table leg. To teach her how to be appropriate in that sort of setting, right? I wanted more for her. I didn't want her to just walk through the neighborhood and that be her only fun in life, okay? So my dogs can have manners with guests in the house. They can go into public places and be enjoyed by the people who are there. Not, oh God, here she comes again, okay? And then on top of that, we have extracurricular activities. My Doberman used to do rally, but she's 9 now, so we do barn hunt. Okay, my Husky attempted barn hunt. We did try it, but it wasn't her thing. Just like human children might try something and it's not their thing, but she loves agility. My Shepherd dock dives. She's dock diving and Frisbee sports. And now I have an Aussie who does agility and Frisbee sports, and I hope to do dock diving. And with everyone, I hope to do lure coursing. We're constantly on the go, but that's something that comes up with these people who want to call themselves a dog mama or a dog dad, or that their dog is like their kid. But then as soon as you start to mention the need for more than what's happening in their home, oh, I don't have time for that. You don't have time for the creature that you just called your kid. So my real upset is, don't call them something that they're not to you. If they're not a child to you, then don't call them that. If you're going to call them that, then treat them like that. And I know there's going to be a trainer out there who's like, oh, don't treat them like they're children. That's going to lead. I mean, provide them with the best education. Provide them with new hobbies and new sports. Get them out of the house and teach them how to behave in public. You know, do what you would with a human child, but do what is appropriate for your canine child. I hope that makes sense. I hope that this sheds some light on it. If you're the kind of person who has a couch ornament that you call your kid right now, because I do think that for some people, the dog serves a purpose for them. It provides comfort of some kind, but we have to be very cautious that we are actually providing the dog with what the dog needs. Proper exercise, proper outlet for instincts. So if you have a Jack Russell Terrier who's digging in your backyard, you might want to join some barn hunt. So doing what is appropriate for the dog in your home, providing them outlets for their energy, not only because they need an outlet for their energy, but because you actually care for your dog and you want to give them the most fun that they could have. If you're the kind of person who's going to say, well, I have human children and they come before, of course they do. You know, of course they do. It's not something that's easy for dog people to talk about, but your dog is a special needs child. That's the best way for me to put it. They have different needs than your human child. And if you're going to have a dog in your home, you need to provide something for them. Not having time, then you don't have time for the dog. That's just simply not a good enough excuse. I was raised with 5 sisters. We had 6 girls in the house in total, and we had 5 dogs. My parents had time for everyone. So it's simply not an excuse. So I hope that all this makes sense. if you're the kind of person now who does have a couch ornament and you're calling them your child, I would challenge you to do more for